During the March break, I had this reflection looming over me and occupying many of my thoughts. Frankly, I had no clue what to talk about. Lacking inspiration, I thought about what it meant to be inspired, and this train of thought brought me to the perfect topic, inspiration itself. Many people don't understand what inspiration is, since the word has been misconstrued in popular culture. I was hesitant to even choose this as a topic because the thought of giving an inspirational speech felt insincere. When you search up inspiration on Google, you're confronted with thousands of quotes by people like Dwayne Johnson, Dr. Phil, and even the Buddha himself. But there is a reason why inspirational quotes like "never give up" and "nothing is impossible" seem so basic and frankly uninspiring. Inspiration is different for every individual. Everyone here has their own interests and their own passions, and a quote by Buddha on a stock image background made by BuzzFeed isn't going to help you pursue your passions. So, instead of pretending to know how to inspire you, I wanted to share what inspires me. Not because I want to talk about myself, but because it's in the specifics of personal interests that we find inspiration. As many of you know, I love drumming. Although I don't quite remember why I started taking drum lessons back in grade 3, I clearly remember my biggest inspirations for continuing to pursue my passion in music. Legendary drummers like Antonio Sanchez, Buddy Rich, and Art Blakey are the people whose quotes are actually inspiring to me. When I watched the movie Whiplash for the first time, I didn't go and learn the whole drum solo because I wanted to impress people or someone told me to do it, but because I was inspired by the film to become better. Seeing people who are inspired to become great at something, in turn, inspires others to do the same. The reason I paid such close attention in Mr. Dawson's grade 6 music class was not only because there was a constant threat of chalk being hurled towards your face, but because he taught with such enthusiasm, and I was genuinely interested in the content. Mr. Dawson's passion for music rubbed off on his students, and inspired them to practice their instruments, although sometimes it was out of mortal fear. Once you find a passion, and something that continues to inspire you to be better, you will always feel motivated. In fact, as I was writing this paragraph, I had to take a break to listen to some music and play along on the drums. The reason inspiration is powerful enough to physically stop me from getting work done is because it's an internal force, not an external one. Inspiration feeds off your own desire to become better. Your own driving force is infinitely stronger than someone outside of your subconscious telling you what to do and how to do it. My grandma is one of my biggest artistic inspirations. At the age of 88, she is still an active artist. She always manages to see the beauty around her, whether it's on the lakefront or in the streets of Toronto. Her paintings reflect her love of art and her creative expression, even if she paints over some of them afterwards. Sometimes Grandma will stop in the middle of a sentence, look at the sky, and say, "Isn't that a beautiful cloud?" You cannot be outside with her at night without her stopping and insisting that everyone look at the moon. That is inspirational. Why shouldn't we stop in the middle of whatever we're doing and admire the moon or some clouds? It doesn't have to be the moon or clouds exactly. You have your thing and I have mine, but don't forget to stop and take inspiration from it. Movies are another big source of inspiration for me. I've probably watched every Studio Ghibli movie 20 times, and at this point, Hayao Miyazaki is like a god to me. His films capture the beauty of the world we live in, and they inspire me to take a moment to observe and appreciate my surroundings. My grandma and Hayao Miyazaki are just two of the people who made an incredible impact on my mindset and who I am as a person. If you're not a particularly artistic or musical person, that's fine, because inspiration is not limited to creative pursuits. It's a feeling that you can get doing anything. I play soccer, and I wouldn't have the mental or physical fortitude to practice without being inspired by watching matches and playing with my friends. And yes, I sometimes get clickbaited into watching those Messi and Ronaldo skill compilation videos with the obnoxious edits and the dubstep in the background. But hey, those are the videos that made me want to get better. Inspiration is everywhere and can come from anything. A piece of music that really moves you, a YouTube video, a movie, your family, your teachers, your friends. My mom inspires me to be resilient in challenging times and to be grateful for everything I have. Bradley inspires me to see the funny side of everything. Ava inspires me to be a better person, to go on adventures, and to embrace new experiences. Pete inspires me to immerse myself in my Asian heritage. Charlie and Dennis inspire me with all the creative ways of getting in trouble in Mr. Lockie's advisory. And there is actually one inspirational quote that I like. In the words of Lieutenant Colonel Gideon Vernon, if you leave something to the last minute, it only takes a minute to do. Inspiration is not bound by realistic constraints. It's a pulling force that's at the root of every choice we make and every goal we pursue. You might think that inspiration and motivation are pretty much the same thing, but you couldn't be more wrong. Inspiration is natural, while motivation can be artificial and self-imposed. You can only be motivated to do something in the short term, but inspiration can potentially last your whole life. If there was no such thing as inspiration, the world would be a very boring and lifeless place. Artists like Van Gogh didn't start painting for no reason. He was inspired by Japanese woodblock prints. Elon Musk was first inspired by Sergei Korolev, a Soviet engineer who is considered one of the fathers of space travel. Everyone gets their inspiration from somewhere. And this pattern of passing down knowledge, along with the inspiration to use it, has been repeating since the dawn of man. I realize now that it's not only our responsibility, but our purpose to inspire others. So, I hope that I got everyone here today thinking about their passions, because whenever you feel inspired and act on it, you end up inspiring others too. Thank you.